What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, again, my name is Zach, and I'm the head coach inside of Freedom Team Trading. If you're not new here, then you know why you're here. We're here to do another weekly review, a weekly watch list video, moving on to the next week. So tune in, buckle up, let's get into it. All right, let's get started looking at news for the week. Again, we don't have actually we have some crazy news this week. We got CPI on Tuesday, some more PPI on Thursday, nothing Wednesday. So just CPI and PPI coming out Tuesday and Thursday. Should be smooth tomorrow. We may be a little, Mondays can always be flat or that have the tendency to be flat if we do have something coming up later in the week. But early morning could be fine. But be aware of the CPI and PPI on Tuesday and Thursday. Again, something to be mindful of there. Pulling up the SPY chart now, getting into the weekly watch list. I'm going to take a look at kind of everything I have on watch this week, as well as reviewing some other stocks that other people are asking. So let's look at it. So SPY, again, obviously in a huge uptrend. Yes, last week Friday had a pretty bearish Friday, but still, way green on the year. Looking at the year to date. Closed the week red, and kind of potential maybe reversal candle there, but I really think that if anything, even though pullbacks we'll see what CPI and PPI do. I do think long term it's just going to keep going higher. It's just there needs to be some type of reset. We're a little bit overextended still, so again, not playing the win or not playing this short, but just playing my setup when it occurs. So again, looking kind of lower time frame going into tomorrow. Um, Depending on if we gap up or gap down, we are going to have demand, 30-minute demand, hour demand, all the way up. So one thing you want to be careful of as a trader is if you are trading just SPY, you want to be very mindful of just because we're at demand doesn't mean I just want to start getting long at every single demand zone. If we start taking out demand and supply starts to hold, we're probably starting somewhat of a shorter term downtrend, right? So just be mindful of that. Again, just be mindful of that. Looking at ES again, painting the picture. It's live right now, but we're coming down. Although I do like potential longs here, right? If you look at a 30-minute, it would be more of like a formation of a strong low too. We do have a strong low here, so again, macro view, just be careful. But from a micro view perspective, obviously bullish there. Qs, same picture as ES and SPY. NQ, same picture. Again, I think this area of liquidity, kind of these equal lows here, could be a potential place where we come and do something like this. So again, same thing could happen on SPY. They typically move together, but something we go kind of sweep liquidity, push higher to all-time highs. Could definitely see that happen. And I think the same, equal lows on Q as well, as Qs as well. So definitely could see that. Looking at IWM, IWM has been ripping. Awesome to see. I really don't have much of an analysis on here other than, if you are an individual who trades ETFs and you don't invest in ETFs, what are you doing, right? ETFs are programmed to go up, especially like S&P 500, things like that are programmed to go up. So, or, have a good return rather over time. So make sure you're investing in those as well. But IWM looks solid. Again, not really leaning bearish in any way, shape, or form. If I was going to look to long potentially, again, we have some demand that we came into. So demand. I mean, lots of buyers present. So again, let's see. I'm not a pattern trader. Could do something like that. Just a thought. Okay, looking at General Electric here. General Electric has shot way up. Again, this is a stock not looking to short. It's just shot way up. We do have all-time highs at 200, I believe. Um, but we have just shot way up. Again, I do think this has potential for, a leg higher, but I don't want to be caught longing up here, right? Especially if I'm swinging. I want to wait for that retracement. Okay, either sweep that weak low and push higher, or I just want to look for, a potential demand bounce down in here, down in this area right here. So again, when we're up here, overextended, fast run up, you want to wait for it to cool off. I see as why that's on his watch list because it's probably big green on the year to date, but just be mindful of that. Definitely want to see a pullback, if any, or see price take out the highs and then start to pull back, right? And then get in long at the pullback. Looking at Exxon Mobil, they actually recently they're going through some things, buying out a large oil company in the state of Texas, in West Texas, Pioneer Resources (PNR) is a ticker. They're going through that. So I don't know how that will affect financials. I think it's like a 2-year process, so plenty of time to go through that. Um, but it's truly looking good, especially for a move higher. I wouldn't potentially lean short here from a swing perspective. If I look at a day, I do have it on my watch list. I was looking for kind of a pullback after the break of this high. We did get it, but it didn't quite get to where I wanted it to be. I was like, it was close, but not quite. Was looking for a potential trade there, but now that we're into supply, it could be interesting how we open up tomorrow morning. If we gap down, I would say that sellers are strong in that area. You just want to be mindful. And then Tesla is a kind of last sticker here. Tesla, again, very bullish on it long term. And I think we are starting kind of that turn up, if you will. I just still think for swings, I want to be able to probably take out the 264 high, and then I'll look to target 500 ish, right? From where I see it now, I do think we have kind of a strong low formed here. So I think if as long as this low holds, so that 153 low, that's going to be kind of my strong low area. Again, that's kind of my pivot point. So below that, bearish. Above that, I'm bullish for as long as possible. So with that being said, if we look into like a weekly chart, again, looking for potential swings, right? This strong low here is telling me that we're gapping right into it. Basically, we're moving right into it, that this is an area where buyers should be strong. So if this low can hold, and we got to push higher, I definitely think the bottom's in, right? But with that being said, again, from a day trade perspective, which as most of us do in here, right? If I'm going into next week, if I'm playing supply and demand, I'm probably not longing this from a day trade perspective till we're up above around 200. We're still in that downtrend, right? We're making higher lows and lower lows, right? Lower highs and lower lows, right? So we should be mindful of that. And just to remind you guys, if you are new to the channel and you are not already in the vault, make sure that you join. Again, it is a 100% free community where we have just unreleased courses, PDFs. Jordan, who was my mentor, is the founder and creator of the vault. He has 6+ years of trading experience. Again, what we offer in here is lifetime access. Okay, it's 100% for free at this current time. Okay. We go over lots of education. Again, going over market structure, supply and demand. Again, you can learn from Jordan specifically inside of this community, as well as me and our other coaches inside. Okay. I also go live trading every single week in here. I do go live on my YouTube. So again, make sure you subscribe to that. But on my YouTube or in the vault as well, we do offer the live trading. As we move back to the chart here, let's go ahead and look at Dollar General again. Something that I talked about last week, but again, it's something that I'm in. We do have earnings coming up, so I'm hopeful. Again, I'm in this long term for shares, but hopefully the earnings come out well, and we have a good rip higher. We ripped right through this supply zone right here, so I have no reason to think why we wouldn't just continue to rip higher. But again, great buy there. Again, all this play was a stop hunt of these lows, fast reversal, and it also was showing relative strength when the market was down. That must have been again on this time, like end of the year last year. And so I got in, stopped below this low around $98. Again, targeting 254. Really like 240, 245 is my target. But again, just holding it long term. Truly, if this takes the next 20 years to get there, I'll be fine collecting dividends. So again, I'm a firm believer in the company. But again, not financial advice or any way, shape, or form. Just again, a stock I'm in. If you're looking to trade it now, I still think you have a solid risk reward down to here if you want to trade it shares. If looking for options, I'd wait to see earnings coming out. Wait to see how what happens with earnings. Again, if we have a huge move higher, probably wait for some type of pullback. If we dump, it may be an awesome opportunity to get in at a cheaper price. So just be mindful of that. Apple, again, earnings coming up this week too, I believe. No, I'm tripping. Next should be into March. Apple. So we've been in. We just dumped as of late. We stop under the highs, dumped lower. We still have this low that's holding. So I don't really think we've shifted to a long-term bear or higher time frame bear yet. But if this low can be taken out, I don't see why we wouldn't see the 140s, 150s here soon. But at this current moment, I'm going to be bullish on Apple until this low breaks here. And again, we have some higher time frame demand down in here. So again, looking from a day trade perspective, while we don't have really any quote unquote strong high that needs to be taken out until we're up here, right? Until we're up here. I still think if this demand can hold and we start taking out supplies, should be solid. Looking at CLSK Clean Spark, again, something that came across me. Again, not a huge, smaller cap type trader, but again, I like how we are coming up to this high. What I don't like is what I like is the equal highs. What I don't like is that we didn't break it. However, what I think would be an awesome opportunity for potential longs is if this high does break. It does break on a higher time frame, just like this. I think we have stops down here, kind of at that strong low. Target up to 42. I think we even could, truly, depending on if you do options or shares, but target up to around that 70, 80, $80 mark. Again, kind of some crazy volatility going on. Again, I don't really trade these types of stocks, but I think potentially could lead to an awesome opportunity if we do get price action to play out just like I have drawn there. Again, just think consolidation, which is accumulation, okay, expansion, right? Look for accumulation, expansion. So lots of things that come there. Costco, super bullish on this long term. It has been on an absolute tear for the past year, for 6 months, really. Absolute tear, right? It's the same thing as I just mentioned, right? Expansion, accumulation, expansion, right? With this, again, I think this is on this game. This came across just because of this huge dump. I still think, well, if I was like DCing investing, yeah, I'd be licking my chops. But from a trader's perspective, right? I really think the probability to win a trade is to the downside, right? This move is very aggressive. Again, it had an okay earnings report, but was way under in revenue. So, actually, like 1% down in rev. Again, that just goes to show that's probably due to inflation. Less consumer spending. Consumers are spending more, but buying less, if you know what I mean. So it could be hurting retail across the board, but just something to be mindful of. Again, from a trading perspective, I would assume this would be more swing minded. Again, I would lean more bearish, truly. I would lean more bearish because we don't really have any type of strong low until like down in here. Like even this low didn't retrace 50% from the previous. So we could basically, what this means is we could come all the way down to here and still be in an uptrend. So like all the way down here and still be in an uptrend. So and still buyers could still be in control. So I'm looking for I'm leaning more bearish. I'll just say that I'm leaning more bearish. Looking into a SOFI again. This is another one. Some of our traders inside our Freedom team we're looking at, as well as myself. But I think right now we're at that again, that accumulation phase, right? So we've taken out highs. We've had that change in trend of significant highs, right? I definitely think longs are the way with SOFI. Again, I'm not really thinking long term up to all time highs again, but not really leaps. But I do think we have a fair discounted entry here, right? Especially if my stop is below the $4 low. So if I'm looking for potential options, I'm looking for something like this. Looking for price to come up here, kind of again highs, come up in here. Could be solid for a nice 1 to 2 hour trade. Play down to here for a nice 1 to 1.5. Really like that, around like $13-14 mark, or like $13 mark right there. I think that could be an awesome opportunity. But yeah, again, I appreciate you guys tuning into the video. If you don't, for whatever reason, you guys should be. But if you guys are still here and you do not follow me on Twitter, go ahead and go to my Twitter. It's in the bio. It's in my bio as well. And click on that link and hit follow up in this right-hand corner for me. Again, and also, if you found anything valuable or want me to check out anything for my next video, leave it in the comments and I'd be happy to do a video on that as well. Other than that, good luck this week. Stay safe and let's make some money.